What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today, it's another review. We're back on the bbuargo bus, taking a tour of what they have to offer in 2023. That was a horrible, dumb joke to make. Today, we're finally looking at the 2023 Ferrari diecast, specifically the Charles Leclerc diecast. Now, I have a theory that many of you maybe would have wanted to see Carlos Sainz, or at least there were a few jokes about reviewing a Carlos Sainz diecast, because in the last Ferrari review I did, I joked about how I reviewed Charles Leclerc because he was the one that actually won. And of course, you know, yeah. No win for Charlie this year, except for that chocolate factory. It was actually my intent to review a Carlos Sainz for this video, but remember, I got these cars at Walmart, and that was just not available. But, you know, even if people said I should review Carlos Sainz, I theorize that more people are interested in seeing Charles Leclerc anyway, regardless of the fact that he can't ever win. But hey, that's just a theory.
And I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss this.
But anyway, let's waste no more time. Let's jump into this review. And speaking of wasting no more time, let's actually waste a little bit more time, because I gotta provide the context of what we're looking for today. So last year, the SF something, I don't even remember what this car is called anymore. This is the bbuargo one. This was, at the time, the best bbuargo I think I had ever seen. It's a pretty good quality. The painting's good. I just think the red on this Ferrari looks really good. Ignore the fact that it's broken. I have no idea how that happened. This is actually what kind of propelled me to get the Look Smart Ferrari, because I thought it would look super good. Overall, you know, this was a really good car. And bbuargo is known for their Ferrari, so they usually go the extra mile with them. But this year, man, the bbuargos we have reviewed so far have been great. These two in particular, I think these are the best looking bbuargos. I think the McLaren looks great. And we also briefly looked at the Sergio Perez in the other video, the Walmart video. And I think this one looks pretty good too, although Red Bull always looks the same, so it's really kind of hard to tell. So now we are jumping into the Ferrari. The Ferraris are usually the best, and we've already got some really good cars. So I have high expectations for this car. Will I be disappointed? Well, I usually am. That's life. None of that existential crisis bullshit, though. Let's jump into this car. It's taped, and I'm using a fucking screwdriver to get the tape out. Now, remember, this does come in a collector case. No driver figure, though. This is the weird Walmart version of the car. These cases used to be really hard to get off, but I've had good luck. Yeah, I did. Just throw this off to the side real quickly. And behold, the Ferrari in all of its enhanced glory. And Charles Leclerc, who cannot win. Now, this doesn't say what Grand Prix this is from. However, I'm pretty sure that this sort of bathtub scoop design, they got rid of it later in the season. I don't remember when exactly. Be sure to chime in the comments if you know. But I don't think this is how the car looked at the end of the season. My guess is that this is the Bahrain spec of the Ferrari, maybe even the preseason testing. That's usually what these bbuargo cars are based off, the first few races of the season. But it doesn't say. Let's get it off the base and take a closer look at this car. And here is the car off of the base. The Ferrari sf-23, driven by Charles Leclerc. Do y'all even remember what Ferrari did this season? You know, I think in the past few videos I've joked about the 2023 season being a bit of a haze for me, but man, I don't even remember anything that Ferrari did besides that one race win. I mean, I guess they finished third. I feel like McLaren and Aston Martin were in a battle at the end there, so they must have finished third, but yeah, just not a great season for Ferrari. I don't know, maybe not as bad as last year, because last year was a huge disappointment in the end, but I don't even know how you categorize a season like this season for anyone but Red Bull. It's just kind of a throwaway. Alright, so the first big detail that I've noticed about this car is the line work on this car, the lining detail on this car. I'm going to flash up real quickly pictures of the Look Smart 2022 Ferrari. Look at the line work on the side pod, where on the real Ferrari, the panels of the side pod come together. Now, if you take a look at the bbuargo from last year, none of those details are there in the line work. There's some right here, but specifically right around here, there's absolutely nothing except for right here where literally on this diecast, the diecast chassis and the shark fin, the plastic shark fin, come together. That's what that line is about. But none of the other line details are there. But on this car, it is actually present. Now, I'm not much of a rivet counter. I think that's what you would call some of the model experts that really get nitty-gritty and really get particular about the way the details on the cars look. I'm not much of a rivet counter or line counter, so that's a cool detail that it's there, but I don't know, doesn't particularly bother me if it wasn't there, but I noticed it as soon as I bought this car, that the line detail was significantly more present than it ever has been on a bbuargo car. So that is a pretty cool detail. Other things that I usually talk about, the suspension, it's looking pretty good. I think it's painted. It's got a carbon fiber pattern. The Alpine didn't have that. It's sort of like just a glob piece, one big piece, and not a bunch of individual suspension parts. That's most of the time what bbuargos do, so that's not exactly good nor bad, I guess you could say. It's expected, you know? I think the usual painting mishaps, or I won't say usual, the painting mishaps that you see every once in a while on a bbuargo aren't that present. I think right here, where the red on the halo begins, where the red and the black on the halo meets, it's a little bit sloppy. But that is, especially on this side, yeah, it's a little bit sloppy, but that's not a huge deal. Also right here, I feel like this is supposed to be black, like entirely black. Usually the details like this is like that, but that is, I mean, they kind of got it on here. It's sort of black. A little strange thing, you know, they've also got this detail right here, the vents here, the black vents on the top of the car. I'm not sure what spec Ferrari this is. I'm guessing that it's Bahrain or preseason testing. Feel like, just like everybody else, Ferrari eventually kind of took on a more Red Bull design to their car, and they ditched this bathtub right here. So I'm not sure when they did that, but yeah, I think this is from Bahrain, a Bahrain spec car. Overall, I mean, this is a pretty solid looking car. I think I like last year's Ferrari just a little bit more. I think the thing that really sold it to me was that darker red, you know, maroon, scarlet red Ferrari that it was last year. I still appreciate this sort of 90s throwback that they're kind of running here. At least that's what it reminds me of, where they've got the black front wings, black rear wings, and just a solid red body. I like this a lot more than some of the 2017, 18, 2016 era Ferraris. They also have the red end plates now, which I actually kind of like a little bit more than the black end plates. I think it pops a little bit better. I'd say this is a pretty solid car. I don't like it as much as 2022, but I think when we put it together with the rest of the bbuargos I've reviewed so far, it looks really nice next to all of them. I really love the colors that we've got going on here. It's a solid car, I think. I recommend it, you know. There's a lot of highlight details that I actually really like. Okay, I'm kind of tripping out right now. I think it's really cool. The brake, the wheel things, the front of them are all got like, the front of them all have different like highlighted colors, like orange, white, pink. I think that's a really cool detail. I got rid of the Red Bull because it doesn't freaking have them. But yeah, I mean, I think as it's been for the past couple videos, it's a really good bbuargo car. I don't like it as much as Oscar Piastri, McLaren, and Alpine, George Pierre Gasly. But the detail on this, you know, they go a step above with their Ferraris, and they've done that. I think the lining detail is probably a little bit thick. I think it's a little bit too obvious, you know. It is very noticeable. I think on the Spark or Look Smart or Mini Champs, the lining detail, it's present, but it doesn't really catch your eye, you know. It's like, oh yeah, it's there, but it isn't distracting. I think this is a little bit distracting almost, but maybe it's just because I've never really seen it before. Also, maybe I'm insane and have looked at too many bbuargo cars in my life. But yeah, I'm going to say that this Ferrari, it's really, really good. It's not as good as the other ones I've reviewed so far this year, but it's a pretty high bar so far. So I'm going to say it. This is a good one to get, I think. What do you guys think of the Ferrari sf-23 from bbuargo? Are you going to get it? Do you already have it? What's your favorite Ferrari from the past 5 years? And tell me why. I don't know. I don't really know how to do a call to action. Be sure to comment and, you know, do what you do. I have a goal here of hitting 10 million subscribers by the end of March. We're almost there. We're getting so close. So just a few more subs to push it the extra mile. Always appreciated. And I will see you in the next video.
Hello. Clang, clang, chicka, chicka, clang, clang. I have the bang. Give me my bronies.